I love this topic. And if I can real quick, Ellen, ask a question of you just from my own perspective. We're a little bit younger in our journey with this tool, and we're certainly a very coaching oriented organization. But one of the things that my frontline leaders have found is that with calendars, particularly in combination with the coaching platform, they're able to have very candid conversations with their individual contributors about where they're needed. Because sometimes they need to be in a conversation as a leader. They need to be an executive that's participating actively in a prospect meeting, in a customer meeting. Other times they are advised or asked by the individual contributor, be a fly on the wall. This is going to be a really interesting scenario. I'd love to get your feedback and see on the other side of it how I can improve. So I'm curious how you use the coaching platform, the notion of the transparency with calendars to help your frontline leaders kind of orient themselves as either leaders, as coaches, as some other type of role in the different types of meetings they're engaged in.
Well, one of the things that the tool definitely will shine a light on is, what they're actually doing and where they are gravitating or where the teams are pulling them. And one of the things that we did learn over time is that in the beginning, when we started using the tool, it was really all on the manager to say, I need to go to a meeting with you. I need to look at a proposal. I need to go to a first call. I need to go to a partner meeting, whatever. And that was kind of exhausting because it was all on the manager. And then once we started working with PI and we created coaching plans, and as you know, coaching plans are part of the tool. And that's what we were actually working on this week is our coaching plan for next quarter, is now we put at least 50% of that onus on the individual contributor, because we will say, hey, Phil, next quarter, I want to go on 2 first calls with you. I want to look at 1 proposal and I want to look at 1 follow-up email. And that we'll do as part of our coaching plan. And then it really drives us to do that. You're going to have other account executives where there might be activities that are more important that you work on. Does that answer your question?
It does. And yeah, I mean, when you say that, my initial instinct, the third party looking in is like, oh, now my manager's coming to me and saying, you're going to be accountable to bring me in on these types of meetings. And it can feel a little bit like you're under the microscope, but I'll share from our own perspective over the past few years as we've done really iterative, really kind of deep reads on our employee engagement surveys. The number one thing that we're hearing from the account executives, from the ICs in the field is, I want to hear how I can be better. I want the feedback. I want the support and the coaching. So I think it's really timely for what we're going through and how we're maturing as an organization as well. Sorry to derail you. PI, back to you.
No problem. Can I add one thing on that? That's a really good point, because I think if someone is not used to having really quality a little bit more formal coaching, it can be a little offsetting because they immediately go towards, is there something wrong with me? But if you as a leader demonstrate that everybody's getting treated the same, and then that you're asking for feedback, like I've told some of my team members before, now, hey, I've given you this advice and you really like it. I've given it before. Let me know how it works out, because if it doesn't work, I shouldn't be giving it to anybody else. And they kind of laugh. And so I end up getting a lot of feedback because I'm asking for that. One of the things that we have as one of our rubrics is a deal review. And I actually have 2 account executives that have said to me, Ellen, every time we do a deal review, I win that deal. And they have literally come to me and said, before we said, you've got a top deal, they're like, hey, can we do a deal review on this? Because they want to get the feedback from the larger team as to, have they uncovered everything? Have they looked in every nook and cranny of how to, get this deal over the line? And so as long as it stays positive, like you said, Phil, and they realize they're getting better, yep, lo and behold, you're going to have some of your top performers that are going to actually ask for that assessment.
Yeah, I completely agree. I love it.
I want to add a point. I think there was a question that said, what tool are we talking about, which is CT Connect, and Paul Ironside, who's referred to as PI, is the CEO of CT Connect, which is a platform that Pure Storage uses. Phil, I think Appian's been using as well. And the way I would describe it, it's the platform and the framework by which we accomplish what Ellen just suggested. And I want to, kind of emphasize one of the points that Ellen made. How great is it that we're talking about creating a development plan in the areas that are in need of focus for a given individual, and we've got a framework and we've got a schedule by which we're gonna go after that in the coming weeks or next quarter, right? So what we're talking about is going beyond riding shotgun, which level one is you can't know unless you're in the room or in the Zoom. Level two is what are we actually trying to accomplish? And the only way you can do that is via assessing, hey, do I have a skills gap on discovery questions? Do I have proposal presentation or closing or even prospecting at large? And so the ability to navigate and then prescribe what is it that we're trying to accomplish with every given individual. The tool itself isn't the panacea. The tool is the framework that enables you to solve for this. So again, PI, I'm sure at some point you'll either talk to the group about what the tool and the platform is, and but what I think is most relevant is it's the framework by which we accomplish what we're saying is our highest level priority, which is we want 100% participation, and therefore we've got to figure out how you go get 100% participation, one individual at a time.